Have you ever felt on top of the world one day and then completely humbled the next? It's a feeling we've all experienced, and it reminds me of a classic story about a very proud mule. Let's dive into it. Imagine this: a mule, living the good life. He's had a long break from work, plenty of tasty food, and all the rest he could want. He feels amazing, full of energy, and frankly, a bit too big for his britches. He starts prancing around the field, kicking up his heels, and holding his head so high he could almost touch the clouds. He's feeling so fantastic, so powerful, that he starts thinking about his family tree. You know, he brays to anyone who will listen, I must come from greatness. My father was surely a magnificent racehorse, a champion, no doubt. I can feel it in my blood, this speed, this strength, this noble spirit. He was absolutely convinced of his prestigious background. He felt like royalty, a thoroughbred in a mule's body. The other animals probably just rolled their eyes, but he was lost in his own grand fantasy. But as we all know, vacations don't last forever. The very next day, the farmer came out with the harness. It was time to get back to work. The mule was hitched to a heavy cart and spent the entire day pulling it up and down hilly roads, through mud, and under the hot sun. It was grueling, exhausting work. By the time evening came, he wasn't prancing anymore. He was dragging his hooves, his head was hanging low, and all that fiery energy was gone. He trudged back to the barn, completely dejected. The lofty thoughts of his racehorse father had vanished. Wow, he sighed, his voice barely a whisper. I was so wrong. I really got carried away yesterday. He took a deep breath and admitted the truth to himself. My father wasn't a racehorse at all. He was just a plain old donkey. This little story, as simple as it is, holds a powerful lesson. It's a reminder to be sure of your pedigree before you start boasting about it. In other words, it's about knowing who you are, your true strengths and weaknesses, before you let pride get the better of you. This isn't just about mules and donkeys, of course. It's a very human story. We all have moments where a little success or a bit of good fortune makes us feel invincible. Maybe you get a promotion at work, and suddenly you feel like the smartest person in the company. Or you ace one exam and think you've completely mastered the subject. It's easy to get caught up in that feeling and start believing your own hype. This is what psychologists sometimes call the Dunning-Kruger effect. It's a cognitive bias where people with low ability at a task overestimate their ability. The mule, having done no work, overestimated his endurance and lineage. He confused temporary well-being with inherent superior talent. When we feel rested and successful, our confidence skyrockets. We might start looking down on the hard work that got us there, or even on others. We tell ourselves a story just like the mule did. I'm naturally gifted, we might think. This is easy for me. We start to attribute our success solely to some imagined, innate greatness, forgetting the effort, the luck, and the help we received along the way. But reality has a way of showing up just like that harness. A tough project, a difficult challenge, or just the daily grind can quickly bring us back down to earth. Suddenly the work feels hard again. We make mistakes. We feel tired and discouraged. And in that moment of struggle, our grand illusions can shatter. That's when we have our "my father was an ass after all" moment. It's a moment of humility, of recognizing that maybe we're not the super genius champion we thought we were 24 hours ago. It's the realization that success requires consistent effort, not just a good mood and a full stomach. The real danger of the mule's mindset isn't just looking silly. It's that when you base your self-worth on a fantasy, you're setting yourself up for a painful fall. When your confidence is built on the idea that you're a natural, what happens when things are no longer easy? You might give up. You might think, if I was really a racehorse, this wouldn't be so hard. Maybe I'm just a failure. This kind of thinking can be incredibly damaging to our growth and resilience. True confidence isn't about believing you're perfect or that you'll never struggle. It's the opposite. It's knowing that you will face challenges, that you will have to work hard, and believing that you have the capacity to get through it. It's a confidence rooted in your work ethic, your ability to learn, and your resilience, not in some imaginary, noble bloodline. So how can we avoid the mule's trap? It starts with self-awareness and humility. We need to celebrate our victories, absolutely. But we should also stay grounded. Remember the work it took to get there. Be grateful for the opportunities you've had. Acknowledge the role that luck and timing might have played. Instead of saying, I'm a genius, try saying, I worked really hard on that and I'm proud of the result. Instead of my father was a racehorse, think, I have the strength of a donkey, and that hard-working spirit is what allows me to pull the cart day after day. See the difference? One is about an unearned, fragile sense of superiority. The other is about earned, resilient pride in your own effort and character. Think about the most impressive people you know. Are they the ones who constantly talk about how great they are? Or are they the ones who are quietly and consistently doing the work? More often than not, it's the latter. They have a quiet confidence that comes from a deep understanding of themselves and their capabilities. They know their strengths, but they are also acutely aware of their weaknesses and are always working to improve. They have embraced their inner donkey and they respect its strength and endurance. The story of the mule is a timeless fable because it speaks to a fundamental human tendency. We all want to believe we're special, that we're destined for greatness without the messy, difficult parts. But true greatness, true self-worth, isn't found in lofty daydreams. It's forged in the harness, in the daily effort, in the humble acceptance of who we truly are, strengths, weaknesses, donkey, and all. It's about finding pride not in where you think you came from, but in what you do every single day. It's about respecting the grind. The mule's father being a donkey isn't an insult. Donkeys are incredibly strong, resilient, and hard-working animals. The mule's mistake was in valuing the flashy reputation of a racehorse over the proven substance of a donkey. He was ashamed of the very qualities that made him useful and strong. So the next time you're feeling on top of the world, enjoy it. But take a moment to remember the harness. Remember the work that got you there and the work that still lies ahead. Embrace your inner donkey. Be proud of your resilience, your strength, and your ability to pull the cart, especially on the hard days, because that is a pedigree worth boasting about. What do you think? Have you ever had a "my father was an ass" moment of humbling realization? Share your story in the comments below. I'd love to hear about it. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this little piece of wisdom, don't forget to like and subscribe for more. See you next time.